All right, so this is a special episode of the podcast that we're doing, and we're doing it specifically because today, I, the PenBoyRoy, am announcing something of fantastic magnitude. So in collaboration with the Odd Oink, I spearheaded the whole thing. I think
there was a text at like 4 a.m. It was just like, I have an epiphany.
I have a fantastic idea. And the fantastic idea was what Goldspot Pens is announcing. The Retro51 Eine kleine Nachtmusik Amadeus fountain pen.
Bless you.
So, Eine kleine Nachtmusik by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart is a very well-known piece written by Mozart, and everybody knows who Mozart is. He's the guy who composed the dun 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 dun. Everybody knows that. So I had this fantabulous idea. I said, Tom, the Odd Oink, first of all, get yourself fired. 2, there's a Beethoven pen that Retro51 certainly just screwed up.
This comes out of just needing to right a wrong.
Right.
Retro51 and the naming of the...
Exactly.
Yes.
So what happened was, let me first go over some background story. For any new listeners out there, I'm putting my keys away. For anybody who's a newer listener and doesn't know what's going on, Retro51 came out with a Beethoven pen. They nicknamed this Beethoven pen the Emperor. And their reasoning that this Beethoven pen was called the Emperor is because they claim that Beethoven's nickname is the Emperor, which is completely incorrect. I even called them out on it. I asked them to cite literature. They couldn't. They haven't gotten back to me. I've read the Grout History of Western Music. I am a lover of music.
You graduated?
I graduated from a music conservatory, which a lot of people don't know. My friend is the director of music at Columbia University, and these are all things that I tapped into. My experience with music, my friends who are smarter than me, who know music. This Emperor pen is mislabeled. It's not Beethoven's nickname. It just isn't. What is nicknamed Emperor is the piano concerto that he wrote for Archduke Rudolph. But that doesn't mean his nickname is Emperor. Right. And if you actually type really fast, as you do, here you go, you can Google. Here's your mouse. If you type in Beethoven nickname, yes, Emperor comes up, but if you read the body of what comes up, it talks about the piano concerto. It does not come up with the Emperor. So,
are you impressed that I didn't even have to, like, I'm typing and the screen's very far away. It's like, I'm not even seeing like what it is that's coming up on the screen. I'm just going based on...
I'm just shocked at how fast you actually type. So I only recently started to learn how to touch type. But anyway, going back, this pen was named in error, the Beethoven pen. So I said, hey, Tom, why don't we do something but do it right? Because apparently Retro51 can't. I know I'm throwing shade at Retro51.
You really are. For somebody that we just introducing a new pen with, you're just like,
I sincerely love Retro51. I really do. But they have to come clean and be like, listen. Because they said to me, they're like, listen, we read somewhere that Beethoven's nickname is Emperor. So I said, okay, great. Cite the article. Cite the reference. They never got back to me. Mm-hmm. Which means they can't find the text. And I'll tell you why they can't find the text. It does not exist. Anyway, so I said to Tom, hey, Tom, it was 4 a.m. in the morning, and I came up with this brilliant idea, as all my great ideas do come up at that particular point in time. I said, hey, Tom, I think we should do what Retro51 didn't do correctly, and we should come up with a pen based on classical music, and who better than the king of classical music? I know some people will say Papa Haydn, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Papa Haydn.
I think Mozart. And we'll name it Amadeus because it does sound a little cooler than Mozart, right?
Oh, I mean, especially there was the movie in the 80s.
Right. So there was the movie Amadeus. Now, obviously, there's no copyright or patent issues because
Amadeus is he's been dead for a long time.
So it's an open source material. So basically, we came up with this idea. I came up with this idea. Me. Same as the pizza pen. He won't admit it, though. Tom doesn't want to accept the truths. But I came up with the idea of Eine kleine Nachtmusik Amadeus. My idea was to have the score of...
You wanted all the instruments.
Right, all the instruments. There. But I don't think it was feasible. I think it was you who said, hey, listen, we can't do it like this because there's just too many notes. It doesn't look interesting.
Well, it was that because the fact that you had all of the various instruments and some of them just were like at rest at the moment because at the start of the piece, it's mostly the violins and other stringed instruments.
Yes.
And you would also have the other percussive instruments, which would just show just blank a staff, or staves.
Staff, yeah.
Staff.
They had rests.
So they would just be at rest. So all you would just see is lines going across in like some of the sections. So it was kind of like it didn't have that visual interest that the other Beethoven pen had because the Beethoven had just the whole thing just had notes all across it. So it's like, can we just focus on one instrument instead?
Another thing about the Beethoven pen, I just want to also correct. They called it the Emperor pen, which is a nickname for the piano concerto, but the piece of music they actually used was for Elise. So
it was many contradictions.
Just a whole mess of just wrongness. So that's why I spearheaded the Eine kleine Nachtmusik Mozart Amadeus Retro51 pen. And I feel like we got it right. The finial has Mozart's picture,
of which you have provided your feedback on a few rounds of like seeing, because like Richard would, let's say, design the profile, the illustration on there, and you'd be like, no, his cheeks, they just look too like pudgy or something like that.
Well,
it's just like it just didn't look as like I was like, okay, I'll, because I mean I am yielding to your expertise on the matter, being that you've studied this kind of stuff, and if you're going to be involved in producing something that's at least accurate to the level that you would be happy with,
I mean, you know what it was?
I need to ask you.
I honestly type in Mozart. I want to show you a picture. So if you look at the picture of Mozart, do you see his face is more narrow than it is on here?
This is also a painting, or like a reproduction of a painting that was done over like 3 centuries ago, right, or whatever.
Well,
he 1800s. So yeah.
But I mean, this is pretty good. The picture of Mozart on the finial is actually pretty good. For some reason, when I saw it, it was printed. It was like on a big PDF or something like that. So it's like
the illustration itself looks a lot bigger, but then when you shrink it down to the little top disc, it's a little bit more forgivable with like little...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like looking at this, I can recognize it as Mozart, though the curls are not as prominent on here as it is in the picture on the screen right here. Just apparently,
I'm just gonna slap that pen out of your hand. Like the more that you keep dogging Retro51 and this new pen that we've produced.
Wait, is Richard still part of Retro?
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Yeah. He's just retired, but still...
No. You're thinking of George. So George Kartsatis, the owner of Retro51, had retired.
I see.
And so 3 folks had purchased the company in his place. But Richard still works for them, and he's the lead designer.
Is this squirrel from from Retro?
That's actually from Brad Oldham. We did the Stacked Friends collaboration together, which was this design. Well, this is I don't have the pen in here. I don't know where the pen is.
Look at this. She's just giving me stuff and there's no pen in it. It's cute.
This is actually the one version of it. So Brad Oldham and Christy Coltrane are sculptors that are based in Texas.
Okay.
So they made the squirrel pen rest, which has nothing to do, by the way, with the Amadeus pen.
Right.
But we're getting off on a tangent.
Right, no, but because it looks like Hammy from Over the Hedge. Did you ever see Over the Hedge?
No, I have not seen that movie, but I know what you're talking about, though.
Right, so it was great. So I love this. Is this like die-cast, or is this pewter?
No, it's just I think it's stonewashed pewter, or they stonewashed the final version. That's not the final version.
Gotcha. You want to put that back because I don't want to confuse our audience. Is this? If I put this here, will this be in frame?
I think so.
Like
yes.
That? Okay, so
you're good.
That is the box for the Mozart pen, what we named Amadeus. And above Amadeus it says Eine kleine Nachtmusik, that means a little night music in German, and underneath it by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Now, this is what the pen looks like. And for everybody who's listening who can't see it, you're gonna have to just watch the video or order the pen, because I can't show it to you if this is not. It's not.
Describe it. Describe
right,
it.
So I'm gonna describe it. So my idea was to take a dark burgundy. Was that your idea or was it my idea?
I believe all of the ideas are your idea.
Okay, good.
I'm just
Right.
I'm just giving that one up.
The burgundy is the paper, and the notes are all in gold, and everything written on the pen is in gold. It's not real gold, it's just the color gold. And the body of the pen has somewhat of a, how would you describe this? It's not glossy, but it's kind of a matte finish.
It's like a matte, like varnish type of finish.
Right. And the furniture on the pen looked like aged brass. Now, I feel like this combination looks really good. Initially, what I wanted to go with was what I'm holding. I just put down the first pen. I'm holding another prototype. I think this was the second or third prototype. It's the same barrel, but the furniture is polished yellow metal. So I felt like that was probably more appropriate for the time that Mozart lived in, with its opulence and all that stuff. But it just didn't look as good as it does on the final product. Wouldn't you say?
I say so, and this was a close call, because we had to show this to a few people in the office, and just, I mean, I think we could have gone either way on the deal, but this we felt was more in line with people's expectations of, let's say, going back to the past two Mozart's era and kind of feeling the antiquity of it. You know, that this was something that is not polished or brand new. This is an older era that we're kind of revisiting in a new pen. So it kind of, and also too, is I feel like, even though that I feel like the polished, I think that's polished brass as well. So this is just like a stonewash type brass. That the polished one brought the gold notes out a little bit more, but I feel like that the antique version kind of lets everything it brings everything together, especially with that burgundy, and makes it more like elegant and subtle.
I agree. It matches the notes more, I definitely think, in this one. I like the final product very much. So how many pieces are made of this in total?
Jeez, now you're testing because like we have so many of these different things that we have to do here. So I mean, as far as retro editions, I forget it was based on the Kirchhoff catalog.
Kirchhoff, just so everybody knows, Kirchhoff is the catalog number for Mozart's compositions. So the Kirchhoff for Eine kleine Nachtmusik, I believe, was 525. We'll double check it right now.
Kirchhoff, why do you spell it?
K-U.
K-U?
Uh-huh.
No?
I think. I don't know. What's taking so? It's crazy. Tom types faster than the internet is able to connect. Just put Mozart K525.
Oh, then if it's that,
yeah.
Oh, Kochel.
Kochel. But it has the umlaut. The O has the two dots above it. The eyeballs.
Where is it here? It's got to be somewhere here.
We're not going to read through like 6,000 of your emails.
Oh, jeez.
Just type in Kirchhoff, C-O-C-H-E-L 525 and see what it comes up with.
It's probably 525. Let's see, that's got to be it there.
Yeah, 525.
Yeah. All right, so limited edition of 525 pieces with the fact that instead of it just saying the number on there, it has the abbreviation of the Kochel number.
Kochel.
So it has the abbreviation being that it's K.
Right.
So like if you could get like K1 of 525.
Right. Or K. So that's how it's abbreviated on Mozart music. If you went out and you bought sheet music from Mozart, that's how it'll be abbreviated. It'll be K.525.
There was somebody, a German, I believe, that went through Mozart's entire collection of all of his various pieces of music and decided to go through the effort of cataloging every single one of them. I think this is consistent with other classical music composers, right?
I don't know.
No?
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know who that person is.
But that's, I was reading up on that just in a little like reference while looking up the what's a Coachella number. You're telling me like, oh, make this many. I was like, okay, well, I don't know what this means. So I looked it up, and it was like somebody actually went through and just said like, hey, let's make, because like this is like kind of like an artist or a painter just has all of these works of art.
Right.
And these amazing works of art that like hang in museums or what, but there's like no way of like, you want to organize this massive body of work and just figure out like, okay, well, like we could talk about, this painting versus this painting or this piece of music versus like, so like to easily reference each one of them because not all of them have names like Eine kleine Nachtmusik. So, you want to be able to reference a specific piece of music in discussing art and culture, which this does. So, but
I have an idea for another retro pen.
Oh no, we can't say anything like that now.
Why not?
No, we can't go there.
Oh, because somebody's going
to take it.
Somebody's going to take the idea.
Someone's going to steal it.
So all right, let's talk about it now, so everybody can hear it.
Oh, so that we could like copyright it right now.
Right.
All right. C, copyright. Okay, let's go.
I think we should do a second Mozart pen.
Okay.
But instead of, oh no, I have another great idea. Do a Bach pen.
Okay.
But we're going to combine the best of both worlds. You love coffee, and we're going to continue with the composer series of Retro 51s, and we're going to do the Bach pen, but we're going to call it the Coffee Cantata. Because Bach actually wrote a cantata about coffee. It's called the Bach Coffee Cantata. I'm not joking.
Can we listen to this?
Sure. Here, as a matter of fact, let me show you. If you go to,
I have Spotify up, so if you could find it.
I don't know how to do it, man. This is your computer. You got like 6,000 different pages.
So is it coffee?
But no, put Bach, B-A-C-H, Coffee, Cantata, C-A-N-T-A-T-A. Right?
Get out of here, Shaq. Shaq's on my advertising. I still pay for. I still have ads. I don't.
Oh wait
pay
a minute.
For
Hold on a
the free
second.
Spotify.
I can do this. Hold on a second. I'll show. I'm just Brian Holzer is texting me about. Hold on a second. Where's this video? Okay, here. This is what it sounds like.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm on my TikTok with my fish. A video of my fish. Why?
I think these guys really love coffee.
That's the Bach Coffee Cantata.
I just like how your Corridora is just like licking the lid of the coffee container there.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I think, because I love that piece, I think what she's singing about is about how much she loves the delicious flavor of coffee and how amazing coffee is, but she's restricted from having coffee because she's a female, and for some reason back then, coffee was only for like men or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
And what era was this? Like
This would be Bach lived during the Baroque period.
Okay.
So I believe he was born in 1685 and died in 1750. And double check that because I can't type fast and do your thing. I'm pretty sure that's when he died, 1750, and that was actually the end of, where's his birth date? Okay, good. Yeah, 1685. Mm-hmm. And he died in 1750. I was right on the nose. So with the death of Bach, pretty much the Baroque period ended.
Okay.
And I think Mozart was born in 1756. And that was really the start of the classical period. Well, actually, Haydn predates Mozart. But they were the same era, but he was born before Mozart. But Haydn was really, I guess, the start of... I can't remember now. Haydn, was he classical or was he Baroque? I want to say classical. Type in Haydn.
I spell Haydn. I don't know Haydn.
Haydn.
Hayden Christensen? What?
No. So DN. No, D, not H-A-Y. It's just H-A-Y-D-N.
Oh, no E. Okay.
Yeah. Joseph Haydn. Click on that. Joseph Haydn. Hold on a second. Here. 1732 to... Wow, he lived a long time.
He's over 70.
Yeah. Franz Joseph Haydn was an Austrian composer of the classical period. So classical, I was right. But he was born in 1732. I guess that was the end of the Baroque. He started off the classical period and stuff like that. It's funny, we're talking a lot about something that has nothing to do with pens.
No, it has everything to do with this because it needed to be not historically super accurate, but like it needed to be inspired by the classical music.
Right.
So.
And I feel like we needed to spearhead this so it's more accurate as opposed to like Retro51, who made a Beethoven pen with like Metallica's sheet music and then they named it Garfield. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want it to be that off.
Or like making an Estabrook Popeye pen and then it would have carrots on the barrel.
Yeah. Seriously. You know what's funny though? Because I'm looking at these pictures. You got pictures, on Google of Joseph Haydn, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Ludwig van Beethoven. Everybody talks about how Mozart died young. He died at 36, and he may have been the cause of his own death because he was just such an alcoholic, didn't have a healthy lifestyle. But you know who else had a very short life, if not shorter than Mozart? Chopin. Click on Chopin. I'll tell you what, you'll see. I think he died even younger than Mozart. So he was born, he died...
38, maybe?
Oh, no. So let's see. Born in 1810, died in 1849. So how does that make it? 39? Oh, okay. So he was older than Mozart, right?
But still, that's like young for...
Yeah, Mozart died at 36. Yeah, he just died under 40 years old. I don't think Chopin was a very healthy person either. I think he was born with a lot of illnesses and stuff like that, which is too bad.
This is a trip into like everything classical right now.
Right.
So if anybody's going to really truly appreciate this pen, it's going to be somebody who's into classical music, and you're just getting like a buffet of classical knowledge right now.
Hold on, I don't want to misinform. Chopin was not classical; he was a Romantic period.
Okay.
So that comes
But still,
after classical.
like when we're talking about the umbrella of like what people conceive as classical music, it's usually instrumental, using like types of instruments like piano,
traditional instruments, right?
Yeah, like that's what. If you go tune into, in our area, we have 104.3, which is
classic rock. I think it's classic rock.
That 105.9.
Yeah,
that's the classical channel.
Oh, is it? What is that behind you? What's under that Waldman box? The white boxes.
Oh, a shibui.
What's a shibui?
A shibui is a case. The case is from the Philippines.
Is it a pen?
No, they're pen cases.
Let me see. Shibui. So we're talking about shibui now. We're gonna dial back to the. So Chris has to edit all this,
right?
The video at least, because this for me is gold. I'm keeping all this shit for the podcast.
Wait, you know what? Let's
shibui.
Before
Shibui.
we get into that.
Hold on, so let me look at the shibui case. It smells like shibui. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that means. Oh wow, this is a nice shibui case. These are kind of small. Oh, it's adjustable. You could put like a Mont Blanc 149 in here, and then put in like something as thin as like a Caran d'Ache.
Yes,
849. Very nice. I'll take one of these.
Will you?
It's green.
What would you like to pay? How would you like to pay for that?
I'm gonna give you this pen here as a payment.
So maybe just to wrap up the segment because I could tell that Roy's getting massive ADD about
ADHD. We'll recap. Let's recap.
Yes, let's recap.
Let's give Chris something to work with here. Okay. So we talked about the Mozart pen. We introduced the Mozart pen. We're just gonna recap everything here, okay? But this time, instead of me going off on my ADHD tangents, I'm gonna let Tom take the lead on this one because this is actually what's gonna become the Goldspot Pen's launch video.
It is, and we're showing it to you first today, the launch day of the Amadeus Mozart pen, the Eine kleine Nachtmusik. And I was hoping that Roy would actually bring in one of his flutes. That way he could actually play it for you. But instead he brought in a 39-gallon fish tank.
29. I brought him a 29-gallon fish tank, and apparently he doesn't want it.
By surprise, I didn't necessarily... it would be this big to fit on my desk right here.
We could get rid of this desk here.
Yeah, we could just...
And put a tank stand there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not... I mean, I have 2 dogs at home, so I'm kind of not in... I have enough of that whole taking care of animals things.
You need an office fish.
I need an office.
What are those rods over there?
Listen,
so there's like a whole
back to the Mozart pen.
We're going back to the Mozart.
Stop.
Everybody listening who doesn't see what I'm seeing, I'm looking at all these rods of acrylic sitting across from Tom's desk here at Goldspot Pens, because I'm visiting Goldspot Pens, and this is a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun.
There's just always things that are laying around that, there's just like various samples of stuff, and it just like he's just getting attracted, and he's just
it's like
sit here long enough, and he starts picking everything apart. It's like, whose shirt is that? Like, why do you have all the bottles like organized in such a way?
Yeah, this is polymethyl so I'm holding a narwhal pen. It's got like glittery stuff through it. It's got to be polymethyl. I really
That's the
like
Las Coloradas. That's the purple shit with the rose gold. But back to the Mozart pen.
Okay, can we go back to the Mozart pen?
Back to the Mozart pen. It is being launched today. There's 525 of them. They're each individually numbered. Roy might be taking one of them home with him. Wait, actually, no, he can't because we don't have all the. Well, maybe we might get them later today. Mm-hmm. But like at the time of shooting this video, it is several days before the launch date. So by the time that you're watching this, the pen is available, and you could buy it at Goldspot.com for $45.
$45? That's
yes.
it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, don't try to oversell it, saying that like, oh, it's so.
Is
inexpensive.
it the rollerball or that's just the refill, right?
The refill itself is $45.
No, I'm saying like because like sometimes rollerballs cost more than ballpoints, right?
No, I mean this is the Ref 5P capless rollerball refill that comes in it, and it's black. So you could do the retro hack if you'd like to. Like you've done that before, right? You're actually the one that inspired me to do the video for that, to hack the refill and fill it with fountain penning.
How'd that work out in the long term?
In the long term, it was fine. Like it worked out well. It's just, I think it depends on, you have to find the right ink for it. Like I think that's really important part is like you can't put something too saturated in there. Like you have to put something that's going to have like a good amount of flow and won't gunk up the tip, and then that way it will continue to write for you. But,
right.
Yeah.
Is this one of those that? Oh yeah, it is. Look at that. That's cool. He has like Mini Coopers on his desk, and it's really cool because it's one of those where you crank the car and then it just flies off. That's the car he drives, a Mini Cooper. It's
yes, it
cool.
is. Yes, it is. All right. So are we done talking about the Amadeus?
I don't know. I wish Chris were here shooting us. We're doing it by ourselves today.
Yeah.
So this episode of the podcast is actually going to be an episode of the video podcast.
You know what I was just thinking right now? Has it been 20 minutes?
Why?
Because it needs to be shut down and restarted after.
It's been 27 minutes. I wonder.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. How much did we lose?
I don't know.
We're going to have to double check.
No, you know what? It might be fine still. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're good. So we just caught it just in time.
Oh yeah?
Because it's at 28:20, and he told me like, oh, it's like usually like you want to be at like 29 like by the time you switch it. So
these are technical difficulties that don't exist with like
all
other.
Right.
You got to throw it back on now.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
all right. Very good.
But we're still rolling for the
we're
actual.
still rolling for the podcast.
For the podcast part. So we got to do the whole clappy thing again.
Yeah, you might need to actually invest in like better filming equipment and stuff. You know what I mean? All right, reclapping. So everybody listening, plug your ears. We're going to clap to resync the audio and video. There we go. All right, we're continuing with the podcast.
All right.
So I'm very proud of this Mozart pen that we named Amadeus because Amadeus is cool. It's a Retro51 pen designed by yours truly, the one, the only, the Grandmaster PenBoyRoy. And I'm very proud of this one, even though it's not a fountain pen, because I'm a huge lover of Mozart. I'm also a lover of Bach and Beethoven. But being that Retro51 kind of just misjuggled the facts and everything like that, when it came to the Beethoven pen, I wanted to do something in the composer series of Retro51 ballpoint pens or rollerball pens. And the Eine kleine Nachtmusik, I feel like, is just such a quintessential identifier of Mozart's music, because I feel like anybody who has even a limited knowledge of classical music, when they hear the theme of Eine kleine Nachtmusik, they automatically know that it's Mozart. Mm-hmm. And the colors and the design, the Otto Ink and I, we molded over and we came up with this, and I think it's really beautiful. I think that this is the next step of evolution that was inspired by Retro51's Beethoven pen, that they erroneously called the Emperor pen. And I think that this is the first of many composer series pens. I really do enjoy this one.
And we're just staking out territory, just to let you guys know, we're just staking out territory for all the other composers. So if there's anybody watching this is like, oh, well, I'm going to jump the boat.
Right.
I'm
No.
gonna
So
like,
far,
no. We got them all covered.
right. Not only do we have them all covered, Tom and I are discussing Bach. We're discussing Chopin. We're discussing some of the other composers. I forgot what they were.
James Hetfield from Metallica.
Don't pretend I don't know. Of course I know. I was just thinking how awesome.
Well, you looked at me blankly. I'm just like,
no, because the
like,
moment we
not
said
know?
that, I just got inspired, and I was just trying to think of like a title for it, but that one is going to cost a lot of money.
That would with licensing, but you could do like a Napster version where we just like steal it and
we could just call it the James.
Yeah, the James.
Right.
You could have like Nothing Else Matters, like the guitar part for it, the intro, and then you could just like wrap that. It could be all black. And
right.
You could have the faded out like "Don't Tread on Me" Snake as like the top finial.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Wow. So going back to the Mozart pen, I just want to give kudos to myself,
Richard, a little bit for maybe like actually designing the rest of the thing.
No, I mean, not for nothing though. If Retro51 didn't drop the ball on the Beethoven pen the way they did, I probably wouldn't have been so motivated to do one. Because this is kind of like me saying, hey, listen, you guys don't want to admit defeat. You don't want to admit your mistake. That's fine. You can't produce documentation that says Beethoven's nickname is the Emperor, but you still call it the Emperor pen, even though you use Fere-Lise's music, the music for Fere-Lise on the pen. Great, whatever. You don't want to cite the literature that says his, whatever. I'm going to let that go. I let it go a long time ago, as you can see.
Yeah, obviously you moved on.
Right, I've moved on. But had it not been for that, I wouldn't have been so motivated to be like, hey, let's do one on Mozart, but let's get it right. Mm-hmm. Right?
See, that's the difference between, like, let's say just empty complaints on, like, so it's like, let's say you see something on social media and you're like, oh, this is you put a comment, it's like, this ain't right, blah, 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 whatever. You get all crazy about it and you're typing there and you're calling names and stuff like that and you get upset. But, like, here it is, like, we're taking steps to, like, produce something that actually sets it on its right course. Like,
right, we're doing more than just whining.
Yeah, we're not whining about this anymore.
I was whining about factual errors on the Beethoven pen. But instead of just whining, what did the pen boy do? The pen boy decided to actually make a pen without having invested in anything. So, good thing for Tom.
without actually designing it or investing in any of it, there it is. Like, it's
so what do you think about the coffee cantata?
I like it.
I like it, right?
I like anything related to coffee, and I think that you're going to see some of that. I'm just teasing a little bit, but I think you're going to see some of that in the near future.
So what I want to do is the same concept as the Mozart pen, the Amadeus.
Right.
But instead of music notes and all the things, coffee beans.
That just seems really corny.
Come on, that's a great idea.
Little coffee bean notes.
Right. The coffee cantata needs to be on there. Or thinking of like a Baroque, the image of like a Baroque woman holding a cup of coffee.
That just seems really sad to me, though. Like, were you just describing her story where she's singing about how much she loves coffee, but she can't drink it because of
as a matter of fact,
I
might be wrong. I mean, because I translated...
patriarchy that's holding her back from enjoying coffee.
Yeah.
It just seems sad.
It does, but I translated the libretto so long ago, so I can't even remember. But what I recall was her father even like locked her up in her room because she kept trying to drink coffee, and she's singing about how much she loves coffee and is being denied the privilege of and the joy of having coffee.
I think that story needs to be told.
I think what Bach did was actually ahead of his time, because he's speaking on how unfair it was for women to be deprived of coffee just because it was the way they did things back then. And nowadays, obviously,
there's
it's
no
not like
limitation.
That. It's not like that. But just because I feel like that coffee cantata was, even though it was just describing a story, it was almost a challenge to that concept, right?
Right.
So
I was saying, "Hey, this is wrong."
I don't remember if he was saying it was wrong, but he was identifying that it was unfair.
Right.
Right. So that alone was ahead of his time, especially for the 17th century or the early 18th century. So I think he was ahead of his time.
Especially for a man too, to be saying like somebody who's like also privileged because I mean like he's a white male and he's able to like make music instead of like, you know, let's say farming and tilling the fields, like
right.
you know, so coming from a place of that sort of privilege, you know, saying, you know, being able to identify and bring about like the struggle of that need for coffee and the fact that it was being prevented to give to women that way. That's I just think that's like it's really sad that happened in the first place, you know. And it's really interesting just I think to explore that story a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to re-explore that story and also research the social environment back then, because I think that'll help us design the coffee cantata pen.
Yeah.
And it'll give us ideas on what to put on it and stuff like that. But why the fuck am I looking at a page full of G2s?
Why did this come up? That's set on there for some reason.
Like,
but yeah, I don't know.
All these G2
I have like tons of like
on his
tabs
computer.
Open.
Yeah, he has tons of tabs open, and for some reason G2 refills. Not that there's anything wrong with G2 Pilot G2s, but I was just like, what is going on there?
Yeah.
But Chris, you're gonna have to edit that out for the video, for your video. This is all going in for mine.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
I'm gonna set a timer. This is what we did.
You could use your recording device as a timer. Just keep looking at
Oh
it.
yeah, you know what?
I'm so smart. What would you do without me?
But I just want I want something to notify us like when, okay, so we're at 37, so
We stopped at 27, so we'll have to. This is the technical difficulties of video. That's why podcasting audio only is so much easier.
so 20, so
This was a mistake to do this without a crew here.
so wait, so how long should I set a timer for? Like 20 minutes?
I guess. I don't know. It's 20 minutes. 20 minutes from now would be 27 minutes, and you said that was good before.
Yes.
So I think it works. I'm holding another pen in my hand right now. It is a very nice pen. As everybody knows...
Timer 20 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, so I like to stay authentic, so I keep everything in. So anybody listening, you're going to get annoyed, but all this technical stuff that we're doing, I'm keeping it in because I like it.
So you gotta cut the camera after 30 minutes because you could only record at 30 minute.
Do you think people are going to watch this though? Do you think people would rather watch or listen? I feel like people would rather listen without watching because they can do other stuff, like they can, you know, maintenance their fish tank if they wanted to, and while listening to the podcast,
they could research Chopin and they could be listening to classical music while listening to us at the same time because it's very calming.
Chopin. I don't know how to say it. Polish ways pronounce it, but that's how you pronounce it. Chopin. I think. And he was Polish. But I'm holding a pen in my hand. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I'm leaving with one of these. I just want you to know.
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really gorgeous. This is a different type of acrylic that I've ever seen. Now, I'm pretty sure when Esterbrook gets their pens made. Now, I'm holding an Esterbrook Estie, and it's this new one called Nouveau Bleu. So,
where's the notebook?
I tossed it over here.
Yeah. So you can
show
this.
Oh, it's
so it has
Nouveau Bleu.
It has it on the cover.
Right, it has it on the cover. People listening, it's just a picture of a red-headed naked lady holding a blue pen.
She's not naked though. She's got like a white dress on or something.
Certainly looks naked to me. I'm going with naked. So, the Esterbrook Nouveau Bleu comes with this notebook. It has a painting of a red-headed lady holding the Nouveau Bleu fountain pen. The Nouveau Bleu fountain pen is a cracked mix of navy blue, royal blue, and brown. And it's really nice. Now, I'm pretty sure these are all just stock acrylic rods, but when it comes to picking out these rods, I know how picky Carrie and Ryan are. They won't just go with any blue. They won't just go with any green. They won't just go with any color. It has got to be the perfect color. Like, they pick it out, and to them it has to be incredibly unique. And I do commend them because they do have good foresight.
Yeah, they have good taste.
They have good taste. And it reminds me of when I first bought my place that I'm living in right now. I remember my friend Steve, he was the guy who shows you places. What do you call those?
Realtor?
Yeah, he was the realtor. And me and him, we saw this place, and my wife is looking around the place, and obviously she makes all the decisions that are good.
She makes all the important calls.
So me and Steve were there, and we're like, oh, this place ain't that great. It's big, it's spacious, but nothing special about it. My wife is like, go around, she's like really inspecting everything, and then she's like, I really love this place. And me and Steve are like, what? And later I talk to my wife, I'm like, honey, what do you see in this place? We saw like a dozen other places. This place was no better. She's like, no, you can't look at it for what it is now. You have to look at it for what it will be. Mm-hmm. So now, after we established our living environment and stuff, she envisioned that, and I'm impressed with how she's had foresight into the future.
Right.
And Carrie and Ryan's taste in acrylics give me that same type of feeling. Mm-hmm. They see a rod of acrylic, they don't see what the rod looks like now. They see what it's going to look like. And I think that foresight that they have makes for some very beautiful Esterbrook Esty pens. Esterbrook Esties are one of my favorite acrylic pens. I think they are fantastic. This one in particular, I really do enjoy. I'm pissed off that I missed out on the Heisenberg acrylic Esty. Do you remember that one? The turquoise one?
Oh, right. Yes, the turquoise. The one that came before sea glass.
Yes. I do think the turquoise was better than the sea glass. The sea glass
I like the sea glass.
The sea glass looks nice. It's got like blue, greens, and browns in it, so it kind of looks like seaweed sewage a little bit. Cracked seaweed sewage. That's what they should rename the sea glass to. Cracked seaweed sewage. Do you have one here that we can show people?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I might.
Yeah, text somebody to have them bring us one in. There's like a whole crew of people outside that should be servicing us. So, anyway, this one here is called the Nouveau Bleu. Loving the Nouveau Bleu. And yeah, this is definitely one of the most stunning Esterbrooks, the best Esterbrook Esties that I've seen in a very long time. And you know what's crazy about it? Mm-hmm. It's like a dark muted color, but very vibrant at the same time. I know I just contradicted myself, right?
No, it does have a lot going on with it. And actually, this color will replace the cobalt blue, believe it or not.
Oh, the cobalt blue? I remember that cobalt blue one.
The original one that
nice.
They've made like constantly. This is actually going to be the replacement for it going forward, which I think is a good upgrade because I feel that the cobalt was too plain. Mm-hmm. That this has a lot more going on with it. That I feel that also speaks to its vintage inspiration. Like I just feel that this pen more embodies the whole vibe of Esterbrook.
I think so. I don't know about that. I'm agreeing with you out of courtesy. I haven't thought that through.
I used to have actually a print for Alphonse Mucha. Mm-hmm. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he's an artist that's identified as an Art Nouveau artist. That I actually had one of his prints in my room as a kid for like a very long time because I was into like art history and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate the callback to the Art Nouveau movement. It's kind of like bridges that whole idea of traditional artwork and then illustration and advertising, because a lot of the illustrations and the artwork that were made were actually used in advertising, like in like the public eye. So like you'd be seeing like these big posters or like ads and papers and stuff, and it would adopt this very like linear, like kind of like very line gestural sort of thing that also then would have figures of like women and like beautiful like hair and stuff and like natural themes like was it like plants and flowers and stuff like that. So it had a very like distinct sort of artistic flair about it, which I think that it marries well with the pen design.
I agree with you. It does. This is a very beautiful pen. The Nouveau Bleu, available at Goldspot Pens.
And that's launching this Thursday, which if you're watching this was actually just yesterday.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, because this is Friday's
dropping
special
on
episode.
Friday. So you're watching this. It just dropped yesterday, and it's available at all of your fine pen retailers that are online, like Goldspot.com.
Right, Goldspot.com. Don't forget to use coupon code ROY for extra discount savings.
Might want to. I don't know.
Chris, when you're watching this, just make sure you put down in the lower thirds over here discount code ROY for extra discounts on all products on the Goldspot website. Some exclusions applying.
Yes, there are exclusions that apply. So
Chris is going to be watching this, and he's going to be like, that Roy guy's so fucking annoying. It's like, he found out I was coming and he's like, I need the day off. I got something going on or something.
I caught COVID. Something's going on.
Yeah.
Well, but no, he's got to watch me the entire time, and I feel bad for him about that.
What's that?
He's got to watch me all the time, just me. Like,
so
editing.
He's watching you while editing you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And that to me is just like, I would have enough of myself after 1 or 2 videos.
Does he get some kind of weekly therapy for it?
I think that's why he plays punk rock music.
You should send him pictures of you when he's not here, so that way he can't get away
just
from you.
Just in case you miss me that much, that you need to see me during your off hours.
Yeah. What do you think? I was going to ask you something since we're on the topic of the Esterbrook SD. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the standard size or the oversized?
I would say the standard.
Oh, fuck you. No, the reason why is 'cause I think that the oversized is the best version of the SD. But Ryan, Carrie, and Brian at Kenro Industries, they actually think that the standard is the best size.
I think the standard's more than ample of a regular size type pen.
Okay, fine. I'll let you think that.
But the oversized just gives you just a little bit more heft.
So the reason why I feel like the oversized is better is because of the capping. Okay. So I'm not sure if it still happens now. I don't think it does. But with some of the older Esterbrook SDs, the cap was an issue for me.
Well, the inner cap sleeve that's spring-loaded.
Right.
I think we even have a video on the Goldspot Pens channel that would have even... Because remember we re-reviewed the SD after
Yes. It was a 3-hour video,
yes,
right?
it was very long.
I want to take those acrylic rods that you have over there and let's sword fight until they break. Just for fun, right? I wonder how much it takes. Look at oh wow, look at that one. So where'd you get these acrylic rods?
These are diamond cast.
Oh, so these are Tim McKenzie diamond casts?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, so these are diamond cast rods. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, all you're hearing is just us banging the diamond cast rods on the table there. But yeah, these are some rod samples.
You know what?
We were considering.
I have to say it. Tim McKenzie, if you're listening, love your rods. This is not going to make it onto the Goldspot video.
We talked about the Amadeus, so
right.
we're good now.
Where are we in terms of time? You set the alarm?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so these rods are really nice. It's blue, orange, and white. Wow.
So they're kind of I would say Mets colors, I want to say, or very very New York metropolitan.
You should get a pen made by Goldspot Pens dedicated to the Mets using this rod, and you can call it 86.
Or the Masons.
No, 86, the last time they won a World Series.
Or
you said never again.
Never again.
Another ode to the Mets. Never again, as in the next time they're going to win the World Series.
My aunt would be very upset with me if I did that because she's a big-time Mets fan.
Oh, is she? Yeah. I used to be a Mets fan. I used to be a baseball fan, but it's too frustrating being a Mets fan because you're sitting there and they just don't. I think they just don't fucking win games. Anyway, the last time I was watching, I think it was 2012. That was when Ike Davis hit more home runs than anybody else on the team. I remember saying at the beginning of that season, Ike Davis is going to nail more home runs than even David Wright, and I was right. But after that, he kind of kept swinging at everything and missing. But whatever. But yeah, this pen should be called Never Again, dedicated to the Mets. That looks like a very Mets theme.
It is. It is very much so.
Yeah. I mean, so anyway, going back to the SD.
You're looking around for more.
Yeah, I'm looking around for more interesting
stuff.
shit you got here. Look at those stack of Leonardo Officina Italiana pens over there. You got a Visconti box. This is Tom's office I'm in, and it's so cool being here because everything surrounding me is
pen related.
Pens.
Yes.
Everything is pens. I got some Pentertainment Podcast stickers sitting here under his...
Oh, this, I saved either one of these for you. This is from our sponsors, Luxury Brands.
Luxury Brands. They're stickers.
Which represents Waldman, so...
Yeah.
Bryce sent this in with a new Waldman catalog that he wanted me to have.
Yeah.
So.
It's like a psychotic Pac-Man sideways, right? Like a psychotic, crazy Pac-Man. Or it's like the Star Wars...
Yeah, the rebels. Yeah. Or I almost see it as like I feel like it's like Charlie Brown, like the Charlie Brown's like shirt, like the bottom of it with the.
Or you could also think like, look, this is like vampire teeth, right? Like I put it over my face.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I even did that on Instagram. I drew a picture of like a crazy face and used the Waldman logo as, I can keep this, great.
Yeah, whatever.
Appreciate it. I'm going to stick that on my journal that I'm using. By the way, you taught me how to journal. I'm looking at his journal over here on his desk. It's just a work of art. Can I show this, or is there stuff like that you can't? This is all work stuff, right?
There's personal stuff in there too, but it's mostly just like going and taking the kids to like soccer and stuff like that.
Hold on. I'm just so I can't flash the screen with this, right? It's just so beautiful. Like this is just such. I mean, why did you skip a page over here?
Oh, that I haven't determined what's going to be there just yet. I might be doing like a fourth quarter calendar or something like that there or something.
Yeah,
but I usually will throw in like pages like randomly to like, just like to keep a list or.
This is like his handwriting. You guys can't see what I'm seeing. And if you're watching the video, you can kind of see, but he's got the most beautiful handwriting, and his dot journal is so like, I could look at this all day long. It's like looking through a magazine from like the Art Nouveau period. Is that right? Like like kind of a retro, not Art Nouveau, Deco art. Art Deco style. Right. And it just looks really fantastic.
Well, thank you.
You're also going to have to upload. You're going to have to upload the podcast because I won't be able to do it on Friday.
I gotta get my pen. Give me my pen.
Here, use this one. I like that he has this. What is this called? The Parker Vacuumatic?
Parker Vacuumatic. It's the major size, the larger of the.
Yeah, for as large as it is, it's still kind of small. Is that celluloid?
It is, yeah. It's like the stacked celluloid.
Where can I get one of those? You don't sell it
here. I bought them on eBay.
Oh.
I would just go find them on eBay. Sometimes I would find them like on a listing where it was like it's questionable whether or not I'm actually going to get a pen that will work.
Right.
But and I've gotten a couple of them that didn't. But then I would send it to Aaron Zvabik of Penteeks.com, and he would fix the filling mechanism.
I love that look of the pen.
Yeah, it's like. And there's no other pens that get made like this now.
No, they're done. No, they're just, that's it.
They
it's
don't do
over.
that.
Yeah, so add, upload. So I'm just watching him write. I wish we had a B-roll camera videotaping this because it's like watching art in the making.
I'm just writing prints, that's
right.
all.
No, but his print is also, like I said, it looks very Art Deco and it looks really nice and it's like all different colors and stuff like that. Fantastic. I love his. So this is the style that I'm trying to copy, but I'm failing miserably at.
No, you're doing fine.
I do. You have like 4 days on a page. I have 2 because I write too big. And also line is not dot. I got to get a dot journal.
Yeah, you got to do dots.
Yeah, I might use this
dots for this.
Nouveau Bleu book.
Yeah.
Depending on, this paper is feeling kind of suspect. And I'm going to be honest with you. Until we test it out, we won't know.
Yeah.
But it's nice. Whoever did the art for the Nouveau Bleu, I'm showing it to the camera right now. You guys can't see it, but I think it's very well done. This art is, it looks like if I went to France in 1930, right? And went to a cafe.
And you would see that.
I would see like this painting on the wall or something like that. I think whoever did. I wish we could give credit right now to whoever did do it. But we can't because it doesn't say on the thing. Oh, I see. It says down here at the bottom, it says a guy named R. Esterbrook Coe did it.
No.
Oh, no. That's not right.
That was the original
Esterbrook. Yeah, I know. So,
I went to sleep.
What were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about the Nouveau Bleu, and then we were talking about rods. Tim McKenzie's rods.
Timmy's rods.
Timmy's rods.
Yeah. Oh, Timmy's rods. Yeah, that's your toy car.
So we have about, let's say 3.5 or so minutes left of the current run of it. So you wanted to go like until the end of this one, and that would be the episode for Friday.
No. What time is it? This is the Friday special episode, so it doesn't have to be a full hour, right?
Right.
Okay. I think we're at 54 minutes right now. Is there anything you want to talk about before we cut this loose?
I'm good for right now because are we going to do? We're
going to do another. We're going to do another episode,
and we'll bring Sal in with it.
Bring Sal.
Nice.
And I think we should videotape it too because
that might be a problem though because I'm not sure with the memory cards if it would take
another
hour.
Fucking memory card, man.
I'm just gonna buy another memory card. Amazon doesn't deliver that quick.
There's a bagel shop right across the street that has everything, right? Like you said, they have everything. No, so I think you know what? I think we're good for this. This is an extra episode for the Pentertainment Podcast because if you're listening to this the day it launches, then you are listening to it on Friday. What's the date of Friday?
Let me see.
Go into his notebook.
That's the 8th.
Friday the 8th. And today is a special day if you're listening to this on Friday because we are launching, and I say we, even though I'm not part of the Goldspot team.
But he feels personally invested in this.
I feel personally invested because...
If that's not evident by the end of this episode.
I solely, single-handedly made all the decisions and designed the Amadeus pen. And so, okay, I might have taken credit for the pizza pen because the idea of doing a pizza pen came from me, but the design came from Chris. This design came from me. The idea came from me. So I'm very proud of it, even though I'm probably not going to use it because I don't really care for ballpoint pens or rollerball pens. But
wow, the world's worst undersell right there. It's like this is mine. I love it. I wish that you got, but I'm not going to use it.
I'm going to have it. But you want to know what's funny? I will talk about it in the next recording. Just remind me to talk about what I thought was funny. Okay. But I just want to say I'm very proud of the Amadeus pen. I want to say thanks to the Odd Oink for taking my idea and running with it because this wouldn't have happened unless I had the resource like Tom and the people that work for him at Goldspot Pens and the people that made mistakes at Retro51 and are now correcting it with the Mozart pen. This wouldn't have come to fruition had it not been for the support from my good friend, the Odd Oink, Goldspot Pens, and our friends over at Retro51.
And I just want to elaborate the point that Richard and the fine folks at Retro51, the designers and everybody that works very hard over there, we don't blame you, okay?
No, it's not your fault that you can't provide the resource for fabricated information on Beethoven.
It's okay. We're looking past this and we're saying this was well done. We did a great job. I think everybody together collaborating, and we're looking forward to making.
Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, if Retro takes anything away from this, I want them to take this away. The Beethoven pen was ballsy because Beethoven is not the most popular composer today, right? But they took Beethoven, and I appreciate that they are re-exposing him. You ask any kid, for the love of God, you ask any kid who Beethoven is, they will not know, right? But I feel like they're reinserting composers that are just almost obsolete nowadays back into society. I do appreciate it. So if Retro takes anything away from this, I just want them to say that I appreciate the Beethoven pen and I appreciate their making the Mozart pen, but they should do their research. Thanks again for listening and watching. Love you guys. Be well, be safe.
Stay